We are live. Welcome to another episode of Indie Comics Interviews.
What's up?
Welcome. I send everybody a link. Let's make sure I sent Ben a link. He's not here yet, so let's just make sure I send him one.
Hi, Simon.
Hi.
Hi, Drew.
I'm looking down at you. You're not seeing me.
I don't think I sent him his my computer crashed.
How are you?
Link, so.
Hanging in there, brother. Hanging in there.
What was the name of that show where everybody was in the box and they were playing like tic-tac-toe?
Yeah. Celebrities.
You mean Hollywood Stars? That one?
Yeah. Hollywood Squares.
Hollywood, there you go.
Yeah.
Hollywood Squares.
Yeah, who was always the center square? It was always the same person that was like.
For a while, it was Whoopi.
They switched it out. It was Alf for years. He was center square for years.
Yeah,
it was Paul Lynn for a long time.
Thank you. That's who I was thinking of. And you know what the funny thing about Alf is? Alf was a TV show that ran for like a couple of years, right?
Mm-hmm.
And it was created as a ripoff of Howard the Duck, because the Howard the Duck movie was coming out. And
before we get way off track, Doc doesn't have a whole lot of time.
Cat herder, thank you.
So let's let Doc introduce himself and throw down his pitch, and so we can make sure we get that done before we start
digressing.
Yeah, I appreciate it because I actually do have to go do my own live stream around 7, and really thank you, Mr. Drew Love, for having me on the show to promote Tilt. I do appreciate it. I go by the moniker Doc Hogg on Twitter and elsewhere. My full name is actually David Hoegberg. And this is my comic book Tilt that is currently funding on Indiegogo. It is 91% funded with just over 2 weeks left. So I'm in good shape. And let me, before we go any further, let me throw in the link here, and you can throw it out to your viewers, Drew, if you want.
I will. Somebody. I just got a comic book delivery.
Nice.
No one's now going to pay attention to my pitch. Darn it.
No, go ahead.
Oh well.
It was with the Alf.
Okay.
Speak of the devil, and he shall appear.
All right. Tilt. This is the main character here, Jennifer Poehler, and she has the power to make the kings, queens, and jacks in a deck of cards come alive. That's what you're seeing right here is the Queen of Hearts, King of Hearts, and Jack of Hearts. And why does she have that power? Well, it's because of these guys here who are mobsters. And by the way, the elevator pitch for this is the superheroes meet the Sopranos. The head mobster here, Johnny Ricca, you may notice he does look like Tony Soprano, and that's not an accident. We decided to model him based on Tony Soprano. And next to him are two mob hitmen, Jack Tessio and Marco Tessio, and they are about to kill Jennifer's dad, Larry. Well, they do kill him, and then they are out to get Jennifer. And in the afterlife, Jennifer's dad begs a spirit to give Jennifer a power to protect her. And the spirit agrees, but for a price. And initially, Larry is saying, no, forget it, but he finally agrees. And the power that the spirit gives Jennifer is the ability to make the characters in a deck of cards come alive. But the price is that she has to use that power to eliminate the mobsters who murdered her dad. And what we have in this scene here is the first time she realizes she has the power. All she has to do is toss a card to the ground. In this case, she's just tossing cards into a hat and misses with the Queen of Hearts. The Queen of Hearts appears, and Jennifer passes out. Next up here is a scene where you have the first attempt on a mobster. And what I really like what my artist, Marcos Lima, did here with the, with the way the jacks or kings or queens appear, in that the card pops up and expands. And I really like how the jack is about halfway out of the card while he's, readying his axe. And then, as you can guess down here, the what's trailing the axe here is not water. There's also plenty of non-approved body type in this comic. So
I
if you're
approve.
looking
I
for
approve. So it's approved.
non-approved body type that you will approve of.
I'm triggered.
Just to let you know, the reason I titled this book Tilt is that if you ever play poker, tilt is an a mental state in which your emotions dictate your play instead of reason and logic. And when that happens, when you get angry, upset, it's a great way to lose a lot of money in poker. Well, Jennifer's character arc is a very emotional one. She's going to go from scared to death, can't imagine doing this, to eventually getting off on the adrenaline rush associated with going after mobsters. And her weaknesses are that she's somewhat reckless and somewhat impulsive, and those are not good weaknesses to have if you're either scared to death or, you know, getting off on an adrenaline rush. So, you know, those are things that she's going to have to deal with throughout this series. And this is issue 1 of a 3-issue series. Currently 22 pages are completely finished, inked, colored, and lettered. And that's of a total of 32 pages. We are almost up to 28 pages. We will be there very shortly. The point being is that I want to have this comic book ready to go to the printer really right after my campaign is over, so I can get it in the hands of customers very quickly. You know I said August you could expect it. With some luck, I think June is likely. Alrighty, a couple of the perks here. This is the standard cover. There is a variant cover, this right here, which the House of Cards with the various characters on them. There is a pinup drawn by my colorist Lenore. She went kind of in a horror direction here, which I like a great deal. There is also a deck of cards. There is a 54 card poker deck that you can get, and this is what will be on the back of the cards. A couple of the tiers. First, if you want to just go digital, and some people are, not very many, but some are. You can do that for just $4. Then you can have one copy of the comic, and all the physical copies come with the digital copy. You can either get the standard cover or just the variant cover for $13. And then there is the tier where you can get 2 copies, one with the standard cover, one with the variant cover. And the pinups and the deck of cards are add-ons. So you buy whichever one you want, and then you're given the option of adding on the pinup and the deck of cards. And if you go with this tier here, you can add on the pinup and the deck of cards for only $10 more. So you get really the whole smash here for only $30, which I think you'll have a hard time finding a better deal than that on anywhere on Indiegogo, at least among comics. And then there's one other tier left. There were a couple of tiers where you could get drawn into issue 2 of Tilt, but we're down to only one left. And this one, you actually get to be the bodyguard of the head mobster, Johnny Ricca. You'll get drawn into 2 pages. You'll get shot by, you'll get to shoot some of the other characters. And at the end of the day, you'll suffer a gruesome death by having a dagger thrown into your eye. So let's see, anything else here? Not really. I mean, just there's a bit more art here. The characters are going to fight and bicker with each other. What you've got here is kings, queens, and jacks. They're actually in the deck of cards in something called the card room, and they're just they're bitching at each other. They're arguing a bit. Let's see. This is the first time all of the queens are there, and as you'll note, the Queen of Hearts, we dressed in kind of traditional, queen royal garb. The other queens, we dressed more in superhero garb, so you could have some more of that non-approved body type. And this is just last here. This is a scene in which Jack Tessio, the mob hitman, he thinks he's going to become a made man. He's finding out here from Johnny Ricca that he's been passed over. He's obviously very upset about it, and that is going to have repercussions down the line. And I just want to say really quickly, my colorist, Lenore King, I love the job she did here. So yeah, that's about it. Please do back it when you can. And oh yeah, last thing, the tier where you get drawn into the comic book, I've actually dropped that from $300 to $250. The reason being that for only if someone were to choose that, I would be fully funded at that point. So I decided the other night on another stream to drop it to that price to see if we could entice someone to go for it. We didn't, but maybe this stream will be the lucky charm. So any questions you might have?
Go ahead, Brian.
I was gonna say, Drew, go right to it. Well, I don't have any questions. Mostly just compliments. This book looks like it's absolutely freaking amazing. It looks great. The art is beautiful. The story is intriguing. It's original. It's very, very different. Where did you get the idea for this?
Oh, well, when I was a kid and I had trading cards that had comic book heroes on them, they used to speak to me. And so I wanted to see if I could replicate that as an adult. And I started playing poker. And wouldn't you know it, the kings, queens, and jacks all started talking to me. No shit. And
that's really
So
interesting.
that was, and once I got on my meds and was able actually to write a coherent story, I went with this idea.
Interesting.
I swear.
Oh, so you're not speaking metaphorically, like they were literally talking to you. That's interesting. Wow. Yeah. So this was a story that, like, this was a natural for you.
Oh, very easy, very easy. In fact, I had the thing is, and the artist for my variant cover here, he initially screwed up a little bit when he was drawing the Jack of Hearts. And you'll notice maybe through some of the art I've shown here, the Jack of Hearts is the testosterone laden guy. And he saw the image here that my illustrator had done, and he now wants to kill my illustrator. My illustrator went back and fixed it, so it looks much better, but he's still pissed. And so my illustrator has to use a pseudonym now. Jeff Craven's not his real name because he knows Jack of Hearts is out to get him.
Oh shit. That's great. That's really interesting. That's wow. I mean, it's really intriguing.
I had to warn all of my other illustrators and colors, make sure the Jack of Hearts is really good. And they looked at me a little weird. I don't know why, but they understood.
That's cool. Well, here's the thing. You always want to keep your artist happy, and you always want to make sure that, if I always find it's a good idea to have them pick the colorist most of the time. Like they usually have like certain colorists they like to work with, and and all that stuff. How many issues are you intending of taking this?
Well, this, like I said, this one is a 3-issue series, and then I'm gonna at the end of issue 3 there will be a page that will lead to issue 4, which I'm not going to give it exactly how it's going to go, but I'll say this: there will be something more akin to like super villains that will be a match for the deck of Jennifer's deck of cards. Then I was on with Red Valkyrie with Shay Zombie the other night, and she suggested, "Oh, what have you considered tarot cards?" Which I hadn't, and I kindly thanked her and told her I'm going to steal her idea possibly. So that may extend to the next series after that. So if it does well, if it keeps growing, I'm just going to keep at it for a while, and hopefully some more YouTube channels will give me ideas that I can steal. So,
first of all, hail Shay. She's wonderful, and that is a really intriguing idea, right? And then, of course, you could also look at card sets from around the world, and of course, now I'm just thinking about there was a guy I knew who created a Beyond the Valley of the Dolls tarot card set. I was thinking, wow, that would be really, really creepy if like Z-Man from Beyond the Valley of the Dolls were to come alive, come out of a card. I hope that's not too obscure of a reference for you all. If you haven't seen Beyond the Valley of the Dolls, you're missing out. It's the movie that Rocky Horror Picture Show always tried to be.
I wouldn't make that comparison.
I would. This is my happening, and it freaks me out. But this is your happening, Doc, and I'm so happy and relieved to see that you have an awesome-looking book that looks really well written, that has a very intriguing concept.
Yeah. Well, I appreciate that. Thank you very much. And I'm not yet relieved. I'll be relieved when I cross the $3,000 mark.
But I mean, you're getting there, brother. You're getting there.
Yeah.
You got plenty of time to get there.
Yeah, you do. You'll make it. You know,
I'm not really worried. It's just that little thing in the back of my neck and the voices in my head that pop up every once in a while saying, you need to worry. You need to worry. So,
yeah, well, that's what the meds are for.
Yeah, you go see the shrink, get the dosage up.
Yeah, yep. I say that as somebody that's on meds himself, you know, and used to work in the mental health care field, and has quite a bit of experience.
I am on meds myself too, but nothing, super powerful. So
no, me neither.
I'm a fan of self-medication.
I've just given this pitch so many times now, I had to come up with something to amuse myself. So my apologies to anyone who's actually freaked out at the moment.
well, that's the thing is that these are illnesses that are treatable, and it's nothing for people to be freaked out about. And so
back to the book.
Yes. Thank you, Cat Herder.
This book is called Tilt. It is available on Indiegogo for people who are watching on Facebook and on YouTube here. The Doc Hogg, as we know him, has basically, if you want to find this thing, you can search it by Tilt. You can use the link in the description or the one in the comments there. Actually, I should probably paste one in the Facebook comments also, and I will do that. Just everybody, check out this book. Doc Hogg's a great guy. You know, the book I really haven't had any experience with his writing yet, but it sounds like a great concept. So I imagine it'll be kind of fun. The whole like it being inspired by a hallucination trips me out, but you know, maybe that'll make it really great. So.
Well, and also this is a case of another CG regular, somebody that's been a member of the community for quite a while. How long would you say that you've been a member of the CG community?
Oh, I would say about 1.5 years now.
All right.
I mean, I knew about Comicsgate shortly after your boy Zach, started running his videos, but I didn't really start getting into it until I actually got interested in making my own comics. And I'm like, gosh, there's all these wonderful people here with all this wonderful advice, and I really need to avail myself of this community. And then the more I learned about what the principles are, it's like, yeah, okay, I'm on board with that completely. So yeah.
That's what Comicsgate is all about, folks.
There you go.
Yeah, so you're just the latest Comicsgate person to throw their hat in the ring and be like, you know what? Let me give that a shot. And that's what we're all about, brother. That's what we're all about. And you are going to make.
I can say I would not be this far along without all the help from so many Comicsgate creators. So
I think we could all say that. I think we all could all say that without a doubt. And then there are the people coming in and after you, and then we're going to hook them up, and they're going to, and it's just going to go on a big love fest.
The important thing about Comicsgate is that you put more into it than you take out. You know
Hell yeah!
I mean, seriously, if you're one of those people that takes more out of Comicsgate than you put in, then then think of yourself as a grifter. You know what I mean? Because
shame on you.
Because the truth of the matter is, there are a lot of people in Comicsgate that trust other people in Comicsgate, and that trust doesn't come cheaply. And there's a lot of people, a lot of drama, a lot of hate, a lot of anger, a lot of sacrifice from a lot of different people to make this community function and make there even be an audience space. And so like there's a lot of people out there talking shit, a lot of people out there accusing other people of not doing enough. Don't worry about anybody else. Worry about yourself. Judge yourself. Always give Comicsgate more than you take from Comicsgate. That's whether you're a customer or especially if you're a creator or if you got a show when you promote other Comicsgate things, just make sure that you're not taking more than you give.
Amen.
Simple as that.
Yeah.
Amen.
I agree. And speaking of which, I need to start heading over to my show now, Comics and Variety, because we're going to be hosting David Reed and giving him a chance to promote Red Eyes. So,
very cool.
I have to unfortunately say goodbye. I was hoping to hang out longer, but Drew, again, thank you very much for having me, and thanks to everyone who showed up to.
Well, you got some time on your campaign. We'll have you on again before it closes.
I was going to say you can always come back, brother.
All right, thanks, man.
You got it, man. You got it. Best of luck. And actually, you know what? Screw best of luck. Congratulations, man. You got this in the bag.
You do. Well, I like hearing those things. I just have to remind myself, don't let that make you complacent.
Oh no, never.
Just
never.
So, put your head down, push forward, just keep rowing till your arms hurt, then keep rowing some more.
There you go.
There it is. There it is.
Thank you very much.
Hail, Doc. Hail, Doc. Good seeing you, brother.
Hail, bro.
Yeah.
Thanks for coming on.
And while Doc was talking, we had someone drop in who appears to look a little bit like Captain Swan.
Oh yeah, that's that's literally my only Halloween costume.
Welcome, sir. Welcome.
Jack Sparrow. That's what it is. Jack Sparrow, right?
Yes.
Yep. What's up, y'all?
Not much. Not much. I see Dorian Gray is paying Drew a little visit.
Yeah, he's right here.
Yeah, he's a handsome kitty.
Did you memorize all his cat's name?
Just Pepper Potts.
He was reminded about
Gray.
Dorian Gray last night because Dorian was like being super cute. So.
Yeah, super cute. Aw. He's like, hey, give me some love.
Yeah, he's making his way to my lap right now.
Aw. See, I'm a cat person and I don't have any cats right now. So I don't know, like Drew's cats are sort of like surrogate cats for me. And whenever I see them, whether they're in the background, whether they're in the foreground, whether they're in his lap, I just kind of go,
Me, I'll just say, I'm not a cat person.
have you? That's because you haven't met the right cat. Have you ever met
I had one cat that I love, but the thing is that cat was raised by a pit bull. From like it was abandoned, so we found the baby cat like in the yard.
Yeah,
and it was we kind of fed it with milk and stuff like that, and the pit bull raised it like its own. And that cat was amazing. I could ask him to sit, roll over, and he would wait for me with his tail wagging like a dog. And that's the only cat I really freaking like. And that cat was so freaking amazing that he even learned to take a poop in the toilet.
Oh wow,
that's so awesome. A lot of people don't know that cats can be trained. Yeah. And there are cats and dogs, but there are dogs and cats bodies. I'm telling you, man. I've had
there's a lot of different there's a lot of variances. Let's say hi to the chat. So Lothar D, welcome. El Gargoyle doing the mod magic. Awesome. Hail El Gargoyle. I got Z Rust is here. Hail, dude. Thanks. Good to see you, man. And then David Feed is here. Hail to the chat, he says. Hail, David. So I'm really glad you guys showed up. Thank you for being here. For I know we're a little off normal schedule, so there's probably like less people than normal. But I got to go and be on Wingcast tonight. So we usually broadcast during that time period. So we're obviously going early so that I can do both at the same time, and no one gets cheated at anything.
That's not cool for us.
What? What's wrong with you?
What's the dealio, Simon?
I'm just no, that's not what I mean. I mean, like we're going earlier so you can go on Wingcast. What if I wanted to go to and Brian too? That's what I meant.
Get yourself invited on Wingcast. Of the three of us, which one of us is not to 10K yet?
Is that really a barometer now?
Oh God!
I'm just saying.
Okay, so now if I'm over 10K, I need to shut up.
Hey, how come Simon 10K party and I didn't get a 10K party? We know that you're going to get a 10K party.
No, we didn't say you don't have a 10K party. We just haven't done
it. I made my own.
Chuck E. Cheese. That's all I'm saying. Chuck E. Cheese, motherfucker.
Oh, you want to drive to California? We got one in this town.
Those places creep me out. I don't want to be anywhere near a Chuck E. Cheese, man.
Oh Lord!
I've never even been in one, and they scare me.
Never been there?
No, no intention.
I actually had a birthday party at a Chuck E. Cheese when I was like 7, I think. So it wasn't as creepy as all that then.
Oh, we don't have that here.
I just imagine if you were like a serial killer clown, that would be like a great place to have a job.
You're talking about like McDonald's?
Yeah.
You know, it would be creepy is if the dolls weren't animatronic, that it was like actually people in suits that went and did the same show every freaking couple hours.
What if there were actual like human like bodies, like corpses that are in the animatronics?
That would stink, wouldn't it?
Oh
Well,
Lord.
not if they're mummified, not if you embalm them.
Yeah, that seems like a lot of extra work. Why don't they just use stuffing?
Well, because that gives it that evil energy.
Oh, okay.
You know.
All right, so Ben,
How the
Outlaw
fuck did we
Nights.
get off
Fusebox. What do we call you, brother? Do we call you Fuse? Do we call you Box? Or your name is Ben? Should we call you Ben?
You can call me any which one of those.
Okay.
I don't mind, you know, because some people prefer my real name. Some people prefer Fusebox. I mostly go by Fusebox because my last name is hard to say. So, you know.
Are you Greek?
No, it's just my last name is Fuselier, but it's spelled Fuselier.
He has a French last name.
That's French.
Yeah, well, it's kind of a weird
It's
amalgamation.
Yeah, no, I had a college.
You have a French last name, and just live with it.
We won't hold it against you.
Rock it.
We don't hold it against Simon. We don't hold it against you.
Yes, and he is a Quebecois, as I always love pointing out because I like saying the word Quebecois.
It sounds much more gay when you say it like that.
It's not gay. It's French.
He likes
Are you
it.
saying
He says it with passion.
Yeah, exactly. And I have friends who are like filmmakers who are from Quebecistan.
There you go.
So I have a special affection for the place and its inhabitants.
Quebecistan.
So what
do you know the guys from Black Flag Production?
No, I know the guys from RKSS, the people that made Turbo Kid.
Yep.
Which is a freaking amazing movie. People, if you haven't seen Turbo Kid, watch Turbo Kid. It's fucking awesome. Yeah, and I met them when they were down here promoting Summer of '84, which was awesome. And they were like the nicest folks ever. And next thing I knew, we were like knocking back drinks and like finishing each other's sentences and everything. It's one of those weird things where you like meet people. Like it happens at conventions a lot. Or if it does happen, it happens at conventions. You just fucking, you know, there's certain people you just click with, and I just clicked with those people. They were wonderful.
Oh, dude, man, I know them. They were they were putting the movie together, and we were discussing them going on Kickstarter.
No shit.
Mm.
Oh, I love it. Oh, there's a great folks. Yeah.
Damn.
So we have Outlaw Nights, Genesis of a Renegade.
Yep. Oh man, I am so excited because we sold an original art page last night, and I couldn't be happier.
Nice.
Sweet.
Oh yeah.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
People love that original art, man.
You know, yeah, like that was big for me, you know, because that's what put us close to 1K. So I'm like, yes.
Yeah, so I see that you set your fixed goal of 6,500.
Yeah.
Yeah. That do you think you're going to be able to reach that in the 60-day period?
I'm very optimistic, but I'm, you know, it's one of those things where it's like I'm doing the whole expect the worst, hope for the best kind of mentality. Mm-hmm. If that makes any sense.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it does.
You know, all I know is based on my last campaign and this campaign, we've definitely had an increase. Because I think last time I ran my campaign, I was at this mark close to the halfway point. So, you know, I consider this a sign of improvement, definite improvement.
Okay.
How much of the book do you have finished so far?
We have about 9 pages completed, and Render is currently drawing up the 10th.
Okay, very cool, very cool. Because I was going to say, one thing to do if you have the book finished already would be to start sending it out to people, and very specific people, so that they could start talking about it and saying like, "I've read it. This is awesome," and giving you a hearty plug. Do you want to break down the give us your elevator pitch, and then the more flushed out
version? Why don't we watch your video first, and then we will.
There we go.
Okay.
Thank you, Cat Herder. Nice.
So why don't you go ahead and fill us in a little bit?
Well, yeah, Outlaw Nights Genesis of a Renegade is going to launch the Outlaw Nights series, which will be, originally I put about 6 issues, but depending on how much of the, let me put it this way. I set it to 25 pages, and depending on whether or not we can hit a 14K stretch goal, that will decide whether or not we add on 25 more pages. But if we are unable to do so, those pages will be made into the next issue. So this may end up being about 7 or 8 issues. But either way, it is an encompassing story arc. And this issue really introduces us to our main character, Cyrus Lawson, who's that gent in the very center of the cover there. He's kind of small in the very center. And Cyrus Lawson lives in the 31st century. It is a very tumultuous time period. Humanity has begun colonizing into outer space. However, it's not quite as advanced as you would think of Star Trek or Star Wars or things like that. This is very much a new frontier time period. The nations of Earth are all at each other's throats, competing over territory and resources. And it's essentially the discovery of the new world times 1,000 in terms of strife, and in terms of, I would say, the rebirth of the criminal element. This is a golden age of piracy that they are living through. And you have a lot of territories that are vying for independence. You have a lot of territories that are conflicted with, changing hands from different owners. So in the midst of all this, Cyrus has had enough. He's gone through a lot of trauma. He just wants a small little place to call his own. He's very naive. He's got a very naive sense of right and wrong, and a very naturally heroic spirit. And so he wants small town justice. And so he becomes a security guard for this small colony known as Therese, which is pretty much insignificant for strategic value of any kind. However, this is interrupted when the pirate crew of Hazard are holding up an art gala that's being held there, because there's a computer that has a special piece of data on it that is going to lead them to a treasure beyond measure, which I cannot specify right now because I don't want to give it away. But essentially, push comes to shove, Cyrus finds himself kidnapped by these pirates. And so he's going to have to confront his own personal biases as well as dealing with the fact that redefining his sense of right and wrong. Sorry, I jumbled over myself a lot because somebody's blowing up my phone behind me. I'm sorry.
No, that's okay. That came out perfect, brother.
Thank you so much.
So, what's going on here in this this panel right here?
Well, that is the introduction to this arc's villain. Essentially, he is a good foil for our pirate Captain Ivory. His name is Taurus, and he is a captain of the ship known as the Magdalena. And Taurus is as unstable as it gets. You do not tell him what he does not want to hear, because if you do, you will most likely lose a body part, as that picture makes oh so clear.
Oh God. Yikes. Hopefully they got really good cybernetics.
Oh yeah. If you look at the panel right above, like on the top of that page, pretty much everybody in that room has a cybernetic arm.
Right. So this is a thing. You're gonna want to watch your extremities around this cat.
Exactly. But he's also very well respected because in the pirate game, the tougher you are, the more machismo you show, the better a leader you are to a lot of people.
Right, like amongst certain sets of gangsters in different criminal worlds, like the more ruthless you are, the more cold-blooded you are, the more you're respected.
Exactly.
Right.
Exactly. Yeah, Taurus is definitely I really like Taurus because I based him a little bit off of a few characters that I kind of cherry picked. One in particular that I really was inspired by was Trevor from Grand Theft Auto 5. I don't know if you remember that character.
Yeah, sure do.
But yeah, when I was originally writing it, my initial mental image was that actor. And then Render kind of took it from there because I switched it up a little. I gave him more of a Hispanic background. But, I was just, I love that character.
He's definitely a very memorable one, that's for sure.
And these are this is our hero shot right here. We got Cyrus on the very left there, kind of coming up behind Kodiak, who is sort of the I would call him the lead gunner of the ship. He's in charge of offense and defense. And he's very no nonsense. And I think he trusts Cyrus the least at first. And then next to him, we got Serpent, who is the quartermaster of the ship. And he's also the resident con man. So he's all about donning different disguises. He's a great actor, and he's one of the more educated of the crew. And then next to him, we got Bit. And Bit is a tech guy, but he's very incompetent, and he's fairly new to the ship. So he's a little bit of situational comedy, but he's mostly kind of a pain in the ass,
Great. It looks like you've populated this world with some interesting characters.
Oh yeah, I've been running this idea back and forth for going on about a decade. So it's gone through a lot of different iterations and stuff, but I really feel like I've nailed it with this comic.
That's a good feeling. That's got
So who's the dude with the question mark on his head?
That could be you, Drew. That could be anybody.
Ooh.
He doesn't have enough hair to be me.
It could totally be you. Render can do anything.
So that's obviously for one of the drawn-in tiers.
Oh yeah, that's our top level tier right there. We got 10 slots available.
That's fantastic. So, folks, you not only can own this book, you can be in the book. You can be part of this book.
You can be a pirate. You can be part of the art gala crowd patronage. You can be a security officer. I mean, honestly, I think most people are going to want to be pirates because, you know, who doesn't want to be a pirate in this world?
Exactly. It's just sexier.
Oh man. And this right here, this guy is actually not going to be in the first 25 pages. I kind of left that over from beforehand, but he is going to be in the next 25 pages. He is this is a British naval officer who goes by the name of Wellington, who is in pursuit of the pirates. And as you can tell, he is very no nonsense. But also he is very decked out with cybernetics.
Yeah, we can see that he's got a cybernetic arm. Are those boots that he's wearing, or are those cybernetic legs?
Those are his legs.
Oh man.
He has seen some combat in his day.
Damn. Also, I see what looks like some cybernetic implants on his head or on his face.
Yep. Absolutely.
Yeah. So he's been through the meat grinder.
Oh yeah, but it also, you know, helps him act as a better human weapon.
Of course. Yeah, you could take what would normally be a weakness and turn it into an asset in a world where you have cybernetics.
Oh yeah, absolutely. There's gonna be, you know, I'm gonna be having some fun with cybernetics in Outlaw Nights.
Okay, so we got Uhura here.
Yeah, these are technically, you know, not really characters in the book. They're just kind of there to help set up the beginning. So essentially, Render wanted to pay homage to his favorite show, Star Trek. So I was like, go right ahead, you know,
because you know, it's not just the look, it's the pose. The pose is perfect.
Oh yeah,
and the hairdo, yeah,
That's great.
Okay.
Absolutely. Beautiful. Okay. It's a very talented artist.
Absolutely.
Render Contender is a great artist. Yeah.
Do we know him from anything else?
Yeah, he worked on John Malin's Graveyard Shift Volume 2.
Oh, okay.
And he also has been doing work for Art T. Bear's Chrono Mechanics.
Oh man, you got a ringer here.
Yep. He is an up and comer.
Hell yeah.
I totally lucked out when I linked up with him on email. Like totally lucked out. Everything fell into place. That's why I'm not afraid to keep relaunching this as many times as it takes, because we had a perfect storm and I'm not letting that go, damn it.
Good. Good for you. That's the spirit.
Well, you know, if for some reason you don't reach your your goal, you know, it's just I guess try again. I mean, ideally you should be able to do it, because I mean, you know, there's the money's there in Comicsgate. It's just that Comicsgate's unpredictable from moment to moment sometimes. So
oh god, yeah.
that's why a lot of us, you know, put printing price for fulfillment costs as our minimum. And not production costs.
And it's one of the reasons why we keep telling people, stop worrying about the perfect moment to launch. It's never a perfect moment. You launch when you're ready to launch, because no matter what, you might be planning like, hey, nothing's going to be happening. Everything's going to be pretty, a lot of happy fucking pretty. And no, it's not, because you're going to launch and some shit's going to happen.
Yeah, you're going to launch your campaign, and then everybody else is going to launch their campaign, and then we're going to have a fucking pandemic. That's that's predictable.
well, we don't have to worry about pandemics. We're doing okay during a pandemic. It's the schisms we got to watch out for. You know? It's infighting we have to watch out for.
No, like when I launched Outlaw Nights this time around, I thought, okay, May 1st, and in my mind, I'm like, okay, I don't really, there's not much else going on right now. Like, this should be good. And then your boy Zach decides to drop a new project right when I launch. Of course.
Of course. You can't predict this stuff, man. You can't predict this stuff. So I agree with Simon. Launch when you're going to launch. I mean, obviously there's certain months where it's not necessarily a good idea, but you know, like around Christmas time and immediately before and immediately after. But otherwise you can't predict when shit's gonna happen.
Yeah, Absolutely.
And you have a quality product. That's the most important thing always is having a quality product, something that people are going to want to read, something that they're going to want to invest in. And these are Comicscape books, and aside from the recent Red Rooster brouhaha, I think most of our backers know that what they're getting is something special and highly collectible.
I would also like to add that there are no stores that I'm marketing this to.
Oh yeah, do we have to use that as a disclaimer now, Drew? What do you think, brother?
No, because I think marketing to stores is fine. It's just that you got to be upfront with your people. If you're if you're gonna crowdfund something and then deliver to the stores before you deliver to your backers, you should communicate that to your backers before they give you money.
Yeah,
because otherwise it's unethical. You know what I mean?
100%.
Yep. And you're ruining the collectability factor. And it's like you see somebody that people like the Brightwisers, people that make these very lucrative deals, right? Breakthrough deals, and you don't hold that against them, but it's like, your first responsibility is always to your backers.
Well, here's what I see: they raised $191,000 for the Red Rooster campaign. Nobody's seen a book yet, unless they've actually went and bought it at Walmart.
Yeah,
that's just gross.
You know what I mean? For the people like me who are fucking struggling to make a business out of these comic books, to see stuff like that, it makes me ill. It makes me absolutely sick to my stomach. That you know what I mean? Because here's the thing, $20K of that fucking 191 that they grifted, you know what I mean, would speak volumes to so many creators. You know what I mean? That money could have gone to a whole lot of different creators. You know what I mean? It's just disgusting. You know what I mean? It's if this was like, the olden days, they'd be tarred and feathered and run out of town.
Yep. And the thing is like, I think like, wow, what if my dream came true and like DC Comics wanted Six Gun Gorilla, and then I could put him in, in the same universe as like Jonah Hex or some of the other Western heroes whom I adore. It would still be a case of, okay, but first my backers are getting their damn books.
Yeah.
But first, my backers are getting their damn books. Then we'll do this.
Well, yeah, it's like, it's not like they held like a fund me page where it's like, oh, just give us money and we don't give you anything. Like those people bought, and it's like you fulfill your obligations first, then you do the extra stuff.
Yeah.
We got more people on the chat. 14 Barber. He's saying it's like similar to Outlaw Star. I don't know what Outlaw Star is, but
it's a great fucking anime.
Yeah.
It's a great anime, but no, this is not like Outlaw Star.
And then Ascending Popcorn said, back to Captain Love on Saturday. Thank you very much, sir. That is extremely appreciated. I'm so glad that you backed Captain Love. I hope you enjoy it when you get it in your hands.
Outlaw Nights reminds me more of Firefly mixed with Escape from LA. Am I right?
A little bit, yeah. I would say Firefly meets Pirates of the Caribbean meets Ocean's 11.
Interesting.
Okay,
welcome Landon Huber, and welcome Fate Salvation. You guys are always welcome in the chat. It's glad to see everybody here. Thank you for showing up. We fully appreciate you. We hope that you enjoy the shenanigans that we do. We tend to throw a lot of shit at each other. So
yeah, we do.
Feel free to enjoy that.
So Fuse, basically what you're telling us also is that you are very much about the caper aspect of this sort of a thing.
Well, I think it's more that, I like the romanticism of heists.
Yeah.
In a way. And I also like the romanticism of pirates, but I wanted to deviate from some of the tropes of pirate stories. Like, because whenever I think of pirates, I think of it more as like they were just smugglers back in the day, and it's like, and
it kind of has that feel of ice pirates, actually.
See, somebody mentioned Ice Pirates in another stream, and I have no idea what that is.
Okay, so Ice Pirates is a sci-fi that with a comedy element with a lot of famous faces, and they because water is so scarce, they would be stealing ice to for the purpose of drinking water, and that kind of thing. So like the pirates was. But that was just like a premise, I mean, the storyline had a whole lot of stuff going on in it. If you have not seen Ice Pirates and you are writing a space pirate book, you're doing yourself a grave injustice. You must watch Space Pirate.
It's a very, very, very odd movie. Like, it doesn't seem to know like what it wants to be at times. It's definitely seeing. I enjoyed the heck out of it. But it's just
two words that makes the whole movie like irresistibly have to watch.
Space herpes.
Space herpes. Yes.
Way ahead of you, Drew. Way ahead of you. But yeah,
that's the fucking funniest scene in the whole fucking movie.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, it is. But yeah, that is definitely worth a watch for sure. For sure. I know somebody that was at a premiere screening and said that Ron Perlman was in that movie.
Yeah, Ron Perlman was hilarious in that movie with this fucking 80s dude and his fucking little bandana.
Yeah. And that he was like sitting he came in and he sat in a seat like ahead of them, like several rows. And that as the movie was going on, he was getting shorter and shorter and shorter and shorter. He was just sinking in his
because
seat.
The movie is really silly, but it's fun and it's cool. And I mean, it's got good graphics. It's like they used models, so it's not even like very much CGI. It's still like that kind of practical effects. You know what I mean? So it's all models and shit, and it's pretty cool.
The movie from that era that I think is grossly underrated is Space Hunter. I think that's a terrific movie, and that has really great practical effects. But that's just me. I think that kind of got lost in the shuffle because it was one of the movies that was made in 3D when there was like that 3D resurrection during the 80s. I don't know if you guys remember that. It's usually like the third installment of a movie. So like it was like Friday the 13th 3D. Mm-hmm. That kind of a thing. But yes, Space Hunter: Adventures in the Forbidden Zone. Definitely check that out.
Sweet. So let's take a look at these tiers really fast here. Okay, so we got on Genesis of a Renegade, $25. Is this the book? What is
yes, that is the physical book.
Okay.
That starts at 25 page and can end up at 52, right? Am I right? Or 50?
At 50. Well, maybe 52. Depends.
Okay. So and then you get two of them for 50 here. That's basically ones, and then so you get 2 books and a digital preview.
Yes, sir. Okay. Because I know that where it is right now, I know that the book isn't completed yet. So it's like I want to give everybody every imaginable, you know what I mean? It's like that's why I'm keeping everything very bare bones, because it's like my number one priority is getting the book done and getting it out there.
All right, so then there's then we have here so the ON is not on, it's the I got Outlaw Nights. I get that now. Generation of a Renegade, and the 3 books here of that one, and then obviously the digital included.
Yep.
One is quadruple. I'm guessing that's 4. Yes.
Yep.
4.
And now we get the fun perks.
The original art page. And does this come with a book? Yes.
Oh yeah.
Okay. Just making sure. And then
no, that's separate.
And you want in, and this. Well, some people would do that. I know. I've done it.
Oh my!
I didn't include the book with original art. They bought the original art, and then they go back and buy the book. On Genesis or Renegade, obviously with this one, and this is being included in the book. That's the drawn in tier there.
Yes, sir.
And you have 10 of those available. So.
Oh yeah.
That's drawn in by Render Contender, so it'll be great. And then so that's basically it. So then you guys get yourselves if this book interests you, if you guys like space pirates and lots of blood and guts and people cutting off body parts, you're gonna want to check this book out. Ben has put a lot of effort into trying to get attention to his books and build his following. He's been around a very long time. He's done this campaign once before already, and it didn't quite get to where he wanted to go. So this time, let's see if we can get him to the 6,500 at least within the 60 days. You're going to extend that, right? Because
yeah,
okay.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Because this in 30 days may be a little bit aggressive.
Yeah.
So let's see if we can get them there. Everybody, if this book interests you, go ahead and back it. If not, then make sure you do your retweets and you sit there and maybe consider about telling somebody who might like this book. You know what I mean? You let them know about it. Direct them to it. That's about CG. It's like even if you cannot afford the book, at least tell somebody who can.
Amen.
And who will be interested.
And it never costs you anything to just click that retweet button.
It costs
Amen.
you like a quarter of a second.
Yeah. And maybe like a fraction of a calorie just from moving your finger.
Yeah, and even if you back it, don't forget to retweet it often because you want that to get more funding. As it's also investing in your own investment, right?
Right.
Yep.
Oh yeah.
There it is.
Now check this out, everybody.
Nick said it best, right? He's like, "I'm not promoting because I like you. I'm promoting because I want my goddamn book."
So
that's the spirit.
So Brian has had a huge jump in his campaign since last time we visited it with him.
Woo!
He's had an amazing jump. He has gone. I mean, last time you were like at like six. Like last time we brought up the campaign on the stream here, you were like somewhere in the $6,000 range. So you're like have doubled what you were. So that's awesome, man. That's awesome.
It is, and I am so incredibly grateful to the Comicsgate community because I couldn't have done it without y'all. And by y'all, I mean like there's literally too many people for me to even start naming names. So I'm just like, Comicsgate, thank you. You made this happen for me. You made this dream come true. And what's really wonderful is now I know for a fact I can bankroll the next installment in the Six Gun Gorilla saga. And that means that when I launch the campaign for the next edition, which is going to be Six Gun Gorilla, issue number 8, Cemetery Without Crosses, it is going to be at least about half finished. And I'm going to have going to be working with a new artist, Mr. Preston Acevedo, and he is going to be doing a gorgeous, absolutely lovely Frazetta style canvas cover for the next issue.
Very nice.
Yeah.
Nice.
So obviously Drew, Simon, everybody in Comicsgate, everybody that had me on their shows, big and small. Thank you.
Welcome.
Yeah. So that's kicking butt. So there's still a few things here. You got the first graphic novel, which I have read, by the way. It's the first 6 chapters, you might say, first 6 installments of the book, all combined. It is a great story. It is worth reading. It is definitely worth buying. It's definitely worth having.
Thanks, brother.
And then this is, you can get that with the number 7. You know what I mean? If you don't have it already. If you do already have it, here's number 7 by itself. That's either one of those is an acceptable purchase. You should be doing that. If you're, otherwise, you're missing out. And then you got the digital deluxe pack. So for those of you who are foreign bound and can't do with the shipping and are in a really big hurry for your book, this will obviously get you set up with that. You get the original book and the other one, both books in digital format. This one here is the Six Gun Gorilla graphic novel. This is issues 1 through 6. So this is if you just want the first book. Let's say you're not ready to get number 7. You just want 1 through 6. You want to taste it, feel it out, run it around your mouth a little bit. Maybe snack on it a little. You know what I mean?
It is offered with. This is the book that's from the last campaign. So if you missed the last campaign, this is the same book, but it's with a brand spanking new variant cover by Mr. Kanan White.
See, there you go.
Hell yeah.
And I hate to charge you $35 for a comic book, but you're not getting one comic book, you're getting 6 comic books.
And it's thick and it's heavy. It's not just a comic book. It's a huge graphic novel. I have it right here. It is seriously thick. You see, he has it right there too. It's not even like thin like an average graphic novel you would get.
It's gonna look good on your bookshelf.
Yeah, it's gonna stand out. It's gonna be hard to miss.
Nice.
Yeah. And we're working with a great printer. Colors really pop and everything. And the only downside is that my book doesn't smell as good as Drew's.
Yeah, well, you can't have everything.
I know.
Mm.
Yeah, because Captain Love is very aromatic. Six Gun Gorilla, great book too, but not so much.
I only back the books that smell good, you know.
I was about to play the button back, and then nope.
Yeah, I know. I don't hold it against you, brother. I don't hold it.
This is from number 7, right?
This is from the Big Gun Down. It's called the Big Gun Down for a very good reason. It's because this issue has a very, very high body count. The last issue, the bad guys kicked a lot of ass, gave the good guys a very bloody nose, and this is the issue where they get to strike back and whip some major ass. So it's called the Big Gun Down because there's a very, very big gun down in it. And the title for every issue is taken from the title of a Italian Western from the 1960s or 70s. So
I love that. That is perfect.
And Adrian just did a beautiful job here. The colors are just gorgeous. Most of it takes place at night. The color tones and everything just really, really beautiful. And if you buy this with the trade paperback, also I knock $5 off the price. So the feature perk is the way to go if you've never gotten the book before. And there is also every single order is going to include one of these stickers by Mr. Mark Marianelli, aka at 6 a.m. Comics. He's the guy that's done what I call the Guernica of Comicsgate, where you've got every Comicsgate character sort of like looking like a Color Forms character. And Simon was doing this, so I stole the idea from Simon. And I'm also hopefully gonna add some more perks, some more tiers. I know people want merch. I know people want sculpts. I wish I could mass produce these, but I think that's still I think that's still a ways away. But yeah, check it out, people. It's everybody who reads it loves it. So and that's not me boasting. That's me being very, very grateful.
Well, very cool. So everybody, if you haven't backed Six Gun Gorilla already, if you don't have the first book, it's not too late. You can get the first book, you can get the next installment, and you won't be missing nothing. And when is this going to ship, Brian?
It should ship. Let's see. My disbursement comes in 3 days. So then it goes to the printer. All the files are ready to go to the printer. So I'm going to...
So June or July, at latest?
July at the latest.
Okay. So you back this now, you'll be seeing it by July at the latest.
Yeah. You're not going to be waiting 2 years, if you know what I'm saying.
Mm-hmm. All right. So let's move on to $10,850.
Yeah, the most badass vampire in comics.
most definitely. He does not sparkle, people.
And let's not forget sexy.
And sexy.
He is dashingly good looking.
So why don't you give it a rundown, Sim, for those who haven't heard?
So yeah, Bloodhound is the story of an elite assassin who gets betrayed and sent to his death as a favor to the family. He's supposed to kill an old man in his sleep, but winds up that old man is an ancient vampire, and he doesn't survive that night. Becomes a vampire, and dead set on vengeance on his prior boss that sent him to his death. He discovered that there's a world hidden in plain sight, and right now he's part of it. And it has its own set of rules, and the world is filled of supernatural creatures of all type and different type of vampires. And he takes a liking into feeding, on them instead of humans. He gains more of agility, memories, and abilities.
That's such a cool idea.
Yeah, it is. And everybody about dies in this book.
Yep. And there's a lot of CGR that die in that book. It's a way of showing love. Come on. He's an assassin. What? You want him to go give you a pat in the back and say, hey, good job? No, he's going to kill you.
No, trust me, son. I love watching you just like butcher our Comicsgate peeps in this damn thing. It's awesome.
My way of seeing it is like, dude, come on. Everybody that wants to be in a zombie movie or you would want to be in Death Race. You want to get crushed by a fucking car. You want to get eaten by a zombie, or you're a zombie, right?
Right. Yeah.
So how many sketch cards do you have left to do for your backers?
100.
That's it? Only 100?
Yeah.
That's not too bad.
It's not that bad. But the thing is that I still have finishing the final edits right now, so that should be done by tonight or tomorrow. So after that is getting ready for the print file, and the rest of that job is what it is. But
yeah,
I'm also working on that Demerc, and we're working on the new pages there. So
awesome! Can't wait to see that. That's gonna be bitching.
Oh yeah.
No rest for the wicked. Finish one project, keep on going on another one.
You're a machine, Simon. You're a machine. You're a drawn machine, and one of the most talented artists in Comicsgate, without a doubt. And people are going to be thrilled when they get this. I can't wait to get this.
Like Tug asked a question in one of his stream, I think it was yesterday. He goes, guys, what would you do if you didn't have to worry about money ever? I'm not saying that you're a multimillionaire, but you don't have to worry about money anyway. What would you be doing? People are like, I'd be taking vacation. I'd be drawing comics. I'd still be drawing comics.
I'd be writing full time and producing a shitload of fucking books and movies, and all I would be doing would be making art. My whole life would be dedicated strictly to that. Maybe with a few breaks to just enjoy life a little bit.
I wish I could say that, but the sad truth is that I would probably spend all my time in my backyard. I'd have to have a ranch, so I'd have lots of room to blow things up, and I would taking those zombie heads, those Z heads. Have you ever seen those on Zombie Go Boom? Right? And just hitting them with swords and all day, every day.
I like that piece, and people don't realize it, but this is me giving a big fuck you to Twilight. This is Edward and Bella.
I just recognized his face. People, zombies don't run, vampires don't sparkle, and werewolves do not play basketball.
Yeah.
Werewolves do not play basketball.
They don't. They rip motherfuckers limb from limb. That's what they do.
What about wrestling? Do werewolves wrestle? What about Teen Wolf 2? Do they wrestle?
No, they don't wrestle unless they're wrestling your head off of its shoulders.
Dude, a werewolf would wrestle you, right? He'd probably rip your arm up by giving you an arm key.
Yeah, the only way a werewolf was wrestling with you if he's wrestling you to the ground so he can stick his teeth into your carotid artery.
Or if his wolf milk up your,
Yeah. Yup.
We've all heard those stories, right?
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
Wolf rape.
Wolf campaign. And, people that, they're a CG fan, when you go through the book, pay attention to the backgrounds.
Yeah.
There's a lot of cameos. There's not just creators showing. There's also campaigns. There's a little war campaign thing in there. You have Cyberfrog somewhere.
Yeah, lots of little Easter eggs. Yeah.
Yeah, Easter eggs, but there's cameos. I'm not gonna say everybody that's in there. Find them. It's like
yeah.
thing.
That's so awesome. That's so awesome. When is this shipping, by the way, do you think?
Should be shipping like by the end of the month or beginning next month. Like I want everything done this month, but I don't want to get ahead of myself. You know, like it takes like a 2-week turnaround.
Yeah.
There was a problem with the lettering for one font, so my letterer had to go back, rechange the font on like 50 pages. One font out of a few, but it's not the end of the world. But no, a few little things because the editor, and I have an editor for a reason.
Yeah, no, editors are a good thing.
You pay them to piss you off.
Well, because you want to make sure that
usually don't you pay somebody to piss on you? Don't usually get paid to don't usually pay someone to piss on you?
That's R. Kelly. It's different.
It's like some people are like, dude, editors are fucking annoying. It's like, yeah, but dude, that's their job. They're there to find those little things that you go, fuck you. They piss you off. You're like, I missed it. Fuck.
Yeah, exactly. But it's better that they piss you off before the book goes to print than like the book goes to print and then you see how you fucked up and then you're pissed off at yourself.
Yeah, editors are like the unsung heroes that get a bit too much hate sometimes, but that's their job.
Yep. Absolutely. Amen.
Where's my goddamn page?
Yep. And always better to have a book a little bit late than have it fast and like not as good.
Mm-hmm. All right, now with that said, go and back Blood Hunt, go and back Six Gun Gorilla, and of course, don't forget to go and back Outlaw Nights. We are running out of time, and everybody make a habit of after. Are you sniffing my book?
I am sniffing your book.
It's addictive.
Page 15, man. Page 15.
Don't forget to sub to Tales on an Adverse.
Right. So I have a link waiting for me, so I need to roll. And everybody, thank you for coming tonight to Indie Comics Interviews. Going back these books. Hail Comicsgate. Let's kick some ass. Everybody fucking make this shit happen. Remember to reach across, reach down, reach around. Make sure you give back to the community.
Get across all streams, just don't cross streams.
Right.
There you go. Peace, love, and soul, everybody. Comics for life.
Peace.
Amen.
Hey.